After skipping the 600 miler last week at Charlotte because I couldn't be bothered with that, we're here at Gateway, and yes, I'm calling it a Gateway and not the stupid name they want you to call it, just because that's too many words. But that's another complaint for another video. Still got my throwback paint on, but let's just ignore that. Keys to the race car, and you'll see it's a little different. So I guess one tires. You can see I put an entry and exit type thing there because most of the time you'll burn up the fronts, either through the center of the corner or an entry, depending how you get in there. And the rears, well, obviously, if you're going to be shifting, you gotta take care of them on exit, mostly out of this corner. And there's something I forgot to mention. The car really wants to swing back to the right, so keep that in mind if you have to counter steer for any reason. It wants to snap. So number 2, I already mentioned it, or shifting. Sometimes down to 3rd gear, and 1 and 2. I just hit the limiter in 4th gear on the exit, or entry to 3, I should say. And number 3 is this weird pit road, which we'll see. You have to take the access road, I believe, but we'll see. So let's get to the pit road, I guess, and then talk about the lap. Alright, we're going to make our way into 3 like normal. A little bit earlier though. Get on the brakes pretty hard. We're going to downshift to 3rd and start making our way to this access road, which is pretty tricky because it's super flat. And pit road's a little further in than you would think. I'll slow mo when we get there. You can see there's the cones, 45 miles per hour, all the way down this annoying pit road. So let me speed that up like usual. There's your green cone to accelerate, and obviously kind of got to use this access road because if not, well, you'll end up with the grass. Again, really flat. There's your exit cone, which I barely made, and there we go. Alright, fix it up, fix weather. Should give us something like, it'll be like 103 to 105 on track tap. Kind of increased a little bit on me. Anyways, my settings are down below. You see them there. 287 on the steering pinion, and the brake bias down to 42.8, and that's pretty much all I changed. The offset I increased just to help with that snap back to the right that I mentioned earlier. And that's pretty much it. So usually we do the second lap. This is going to be the first lap. That was my quicker lap, and yeah, it might improve later because of tire pressures and stuff like that, but alright, I got ahead of myself. Let's just play the lap, then we'll break it down. And there we have it for a 34-0, but it was a little tricky. Alright, we're going to make our way into 1. I'll slow-mo it because there's a lot to unpack here. Now we're going to start braking. There's this little transition of, I guess, color from the groove and the front stretch, which is pretty much right about here. We're looking at that. It's hard to tell, but it's pretty much where the hood is on the car. Braking relatively hard. We're going to treat it like a road course. You know, braking, downshifting, all that fun stuff. You can see I increase my brake pressure the further into the brake zone I get. Not necessarily while in the corner, but yeah. So we're going to downshift, and we're going to downshift again to 3rd, right about this green light. And we're going to just trail brake till we get it down to that. Looks like a grip patch of some sort of newer pavement. I don't know. We're going to let it roll at this point. Once you feel it roll, it should roll relatively well. And once you feel it turn down, start picking the throttle up, but don't just stand on it because you might spin yourself because, you know, we're in 3rd gear and doesn't really like that. And power out. You see I upshifted there. We're going to slow-mo into 3 because we're braking a little bit later. You can see I'm on the limiter there by that flashing number. We're looking again at the yellow, or the green. That green status light there. Now you want to turn it a little earlier than I do here because it kind of locks up easier that way, the way I did it. But it did help my exit, so keep that in mind if you want to run this kind of line. So continue to slow-mo. We're going to be braking here in about a car length or 2. Right there, pretty hard. I couldn't brake as hard as I wanted because, again, I was too high and I locked up the left front, which I let it wash out here. Once you get it slowed down enough, you can let it roll right into that grip patch. Then we're going to diamond it, so get the car wound up enough to where it wants to start rotating back down. Use some throttle to help it with that. And you can see we're aiming back down right when we touch that next little grip patch there. At least I think that's what that is. I have no clue. Anyways, power out. We're just going to leave it in 4th. I mean, you'll probably shift afterwards for a Q-lap, whatever. Alright, that's it for this track. I don't really know how to explain it any better than this. Really weird track, and that snap back to the right deal is kind of going to be concerning. And we'll be back next week for the fun one with Sonoma. I just enjoy that place. And that'll be a long video, so I guess be ready for that. Anyways, Emerson True Side.